Hi everybody, Donna Salazar here, and I've got a new technique for you for Tuesday tutorials. I'm going to be using adhesive sheets from 3S Scrapbook Adhesives with stencils from Want to Scrap and Smooch Spritz from Clear Snap. Now I love to spritz everything. I love stenciling with everything, and the problem I've had with using spritz with stencils is that it would get underneath the stencil and it would get all smeary, and then it didn't look good. So I found a new way to use the adhesive sheets on the stencil, but you have to do this particular technique before you remove the film from this. So this is the way that the stencils come from Want to Scrap. They have a cover on here. They're not actually frosted. It's a clear acrylic, and it's got the film on both sides, so you just scratch at the corner and then you can pull it back. So you can see it's completely clear acrylic. But before you do that, to do this technique, you need to leave the film on. So I'm going to be using my recycle stencil from Want to Scrap with a sheet of Scrapbook Adhesives adhesive sheet, and then I've got some denim that I cut off of some jeans here, and I had done this already using some canvas from Want to Scrap and then a couple pieces of denim using the houndstooth stencil, and so you can kind of get an idea of what we're going for. But I'm going to show you how I did this, and we'll come over here to the other camera. Okay, so I am going to start by removing the yellow backing from the adhesive sheet, and it has that nice little strip right there to make it easy. And I'm going to just place the stencil right on top of the adhesive sheet, and then I'm going to flip that over, and I'm going to use a bone folder to just make sure that it is really on here very well. And now what I'm going to do, and if it got on your table, you could just roll it off, nice and easy. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to peel this away. And you can actually use this extra stuff that is still on the sheet on a tag so that you don't waste it. I don't know if you can, there you go, you can kind of see it. It's really, it's messy, it's not real clean on here. But good use of it is to just sprinkle some embossing powder onto it and then heat set that. See, just like that. I'll just put this back. And I can set that at any time because the glue isn't going to dry. So we'll just set that aside. Okay, so now I'm going to want to make sure that none of this is still in there. So you can just kind of rub from this side, because you do want it to be clean for this particular technique. Okay, and the nice thing about this is now you've got this adhesive on here, and this can be used multiple times. It's not a one-shot thing. So the next thing you're going to do is adhere it to a piece of denim. Now I've got my denim all wonky around the outside edge, and you can leave it like that, but you're going to have this outside edge spritzed. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut that off and make it a nice clean edge. And now I will pull up my color catcher from Clear Snap, and then I'm going to take one of my spritzes, and I'm using River Mossy. And they don't come like this, by the way. I try to make sure everybody doesn't go looking for these large bottles. This is how my spritzes come. They come in the small skinny bottles, but I use them on everything. So I double them up. I put 2 bottles into one big glass bottle, and this is from Clear Snap. So I put 2 bottles into 1 bottle, and then it makes it easier to shake it up too, because you have all of this space up here for shaking instead of this little teeny tiny space up in the top for shaking on the small bottles. So it mixes a lot faster, and I find that if you mix it really well, that the nozzles don't clog. I've got my denim on the stencil inside, and I'm just going to spritz. And you can now dab that off or use a piece of paper or a tag or something to get some of that off so that you don't waste that. And of course, I don't like to waste, so I'm going to use a tag and just place it down. And that gives you a really crazy effect. Not what I thought it was going to look like, but I like it. And we'll do it again on this side. Maybe I should just hold it down for a second. It's because it's not an absorbent material. It has a little bit of a resist to it. A little coating on it. That's more what I thought it would look like. I just didn't hold it down long enough. Okay, so I got a couple tags off of that, so I feel like it's okay to go ahead and wipe this off now. And now we're just going to pull this back. Oops. And there you go. It has a really clean stenciled image on there. So we're going to get another piece of denim, and we'll just place this right back down. Okay, make sure it's really on there well. And this time I'm going to use my wood stain. This is one of my favorite colors of Smooch Spritz. It's a really dark, cool brown. It's like the best color for vintage and grungy, girly grunge stuff. Okay, so now we're going to spritz this again. And we'll soak up some of that spritz with some more tags. There we go, that looks really cool. So that'll make really cool mixed media backgrounds. Alright, so now we can wipe this off. And remove it. And you can see it's still sticking really well. And there you go. So here are the two that we just did. On this houndstooth one, I already did multiple images. It's still sticky. It'll still work, but I want to show you how easy it is to remove this so you can use the stencil regularly. So then you're just going to go to the corner and pull up that film and just remove the film. I'm just pulling it all off. And now the adhesive sheet has been completely removed, and you can just use this as a regular stencil. So I wanted to see how far I could take it and how many images I could get with that one adhesive application, and I was able to get 9 images using that one adhesive on the stencil. And I started mixing some of the colors together. So I've got like color mixtures, and I'm going to use these and make some kind of a little project out of them. Now after the 9th time, or actually the 9th time, you can see that some of the adhesive was getting a little not so adhesive because you're putting it on material and taking it off multiple times. And so some of that spritz got underneath the stencil and you got an image that wasn't quite so clean. But I still like this one. I'm totally going to use this one. I love the colors. And then on top of that, because I was using the stuff that was left on top of the stencil, I got all of these tags as well. And this is the original one that we put the adhesive on, and I just put some of my black embossing powder, the mixed media inks embossing powder on it, and just heat set it. And so I have all of these tags that I can use for other projects as well. So you can get a lot of use out of just one application. So that was a lot of fun. Now I'm going to play and see what I can make with the denim pieces that I've made, and I will see you guys next week. Bye! So the next thing,